Although it may sound like a joke, wild boars are responsible for massive amounts of harm all over the world. However, certain farmers in Australia are making thousands of dollars every day from these very pests. Keep in mind that you should subscribe to the channel once you have finished watching the complete video with me in order to learn the secret to make money in the midst of a crisis. When the farmer went out into the fields one morning, he was instantly confronted with a horrific scene. An amount of crops that weighed more than 900 kilograms had been uprooted and destroyed, leaving behind obvious indications of destruction. All of the plants in the rice field were ripped out of the ground, and wild boar tracks were seen all over the place. The entire rice field was destroyed. The wild boars, with their unbridled power, had annihilated everything that stood in their way from the beginning. The wild boar population has reached 7.90 million, and it is attacking mercilessly, costing over $2.50 billion in damages across Australia. As a result, the problem has gotten increasingly serious. When wild boars are out foraging, they use their snouts and tusks to work the earth in a manner similar to that of garden plows. On top of that, wild boars are known to attack humans, which can result in major injuries. Other species, such as capybaras, are also responsible for this problem. Wild boars are not the only ones. They have the appearance of a cast of characters from a comedy film, and they appear to be cute and kind creatures, yet they are essentially harmful pests. With just one bite and one chase, the fields may quickly become a battlefield, and the farmers are left watching helplessly as the situation unfolds. For farmers, life has become an ongoing struggle to defend their property and ensure that they can continue to make a living. Animals known as wild boars are responsible for significant harm to agricultural practices and ecosystems in Australia, particularly in regions such as Queensland and New South Wales. The government of Australia has encouraged hunters and farmers to take part in activities involving wild boar hunting and trapping in order to lessen the amount of damage that is caused by this invasive animal. The methods that are used to hunt wild animals and transport them are in accordance with the customary customs and norms of the entire nation. Controlling wild boar in Australia involves a number of different strategies that have proven to be effective. Traditional hunting is one of the most prevalent methods, in addition to being supported by the government and conforming to cultural standards that have been around for a very long time. Hunters aim for the effective point directly in front of the shoulder to take down their victim. They do this by using high-powered rifles and night vision technology. In order to be proficient in hunting skills, hunters need to practice target shooting, identify the direction of the wind, and comprehend the behavior of wild boars. One of the most important roles that hunting dogs perform is in the process of capturing wild boars. Tracking dogs are responsible for following the scent trail, while catch dogs are responsible for launching direct attacks. The employment of helicopters for hunting is yet another approach. However, this strategy is not only expensive, about $4,000 per trip, but it also impacts the ecosystem. The traps are thoughtfully positioned, and the ground is blanketed with aromas that wild boars adore. The purpose of the traps is to attract wild boars to the traps. There are large herds of wild boars that are drawn in by the fragrance as it spreads, and they congregate together to enjoy the free feast. They are utterly oblivious to the danger that is lying close as they feast without a care in the world. Wild boars from all over the world, including entire families, lineages, and generations, are congregating in increasing numbers. And with a single loud smash, each and every one of the wild boars became ensnared. These traps can cost as much as $75,000 each. Placing the bait, monitoring it with a camera, and setting off the trap from a remote location is a straightforward process. Strong construction ensures that these traps can bear significant force. May I ask you a few questions today? In that case, please specify the number 1 in your comment. The cultivation of wild boars not only serves to regulate the increase of the species population but also brings significant income to farmers. This is in contrast to the situation that occurs when there is constant conflict. Another advantage of farming wild boars is that it helps limit the amount of damage they make to agricultural land, as opposed to allowing them to destroy crops. To successfully raise wild boars, you need to provide them with a natural habitat that includes ample space for them to wander around and develop. Their food consists of grains, fruits, and natural vegetables, all of which contribute to the herd's overall excellent health. Due to the fact that wild boar meat is both highly healthy and has a flavor that is all its own, it has gained popularity and has become a reliable source of revenue. However, beyond farming and hunting, technology is also stepping in as a powerful ally in the battle against wild boars. Drones equipped with thermal cameras are now used to track their nighttime movements. From above, the glowing silhouettes of entire herds can be spotted in the dark, allowing farmers and authorities to predict where the next attack might happen. This technological approach not only saves time, but also helps reduce the risks for hunters on the ground. Moreover, wild boars are not just a threat to agriculture. They also disrupt delicate ecosystems. By rooting up soil and vegetation, they destroy habitats for native species and accelerate erosion in fragile landscapes. Scientists warn that if left unchecked, the species could cause irreversible ecological changes. As a result, wildlife experts are collaborating with farmers to develop integrated management strategies that combine ecological protection with economic benefits. Interestingly, some entrepreneurs have turned the crisis into an opportunity for innovation. Wild boar leather, for example, is now being processed into luxury products such as handbags, belts, and shoes. With its unique grain and durability, the leather has become a niche item in the global fashion market. In this way, what was once seen purely as a pest is slowly being rebranded as a valuable resource. Furthermore, restaurants are capitalizing on the distinct taste of wild boar meat. From smoked sausages to gourmet steaks, this specialty is drawing food lovers seeking something exotic yet sustainable. Food festivals even feature wild boar challenges, attracting curious tourists who want to experience authentic Australian cuisine while supporting local farmers. On the other hand, animal welfare concerns are also being raised. Some conservationists argue that while control is necessary, humane methods must be prioritized. This has encouraged research into non-lethal approaches, such as fertility control, which aims to reduce population growth without mass hunting. Although still experimental, these methods may provide a long-term solution to balance environmental protection with ethical responsibility. Finally, education plays a vital role. Communities are now running awareness campaigns to help residents recognize the signs of wild boar activity and report sightings quickly. By working together, farmers, hunters, scientists, and citizens, Australia hopes to manage the crisis more effectively and transform a destructive force into a source of resilience and innovation. Although wild boars are often valued as a source of meat, they pose significant threats to the environment and ecosystems in Australia. By rooting and digging in the soil, they destroy the top layer of land, accelerate erosion, and disrupt the natural balance. Their constant search for food also places pressure on native plants and reduces the availability of resources for local species. In addition, these animals are carriers of many dangerous diseases. Wild boars can spread leptospirosis, brucellosis, and even swine influenza, posing a risk not only to domestic livestock, but also to human health. This makes their management a matter of both environmental and public safety. Moreover, the presence of wild boars creates hazards on the road. In rural areas, collisions between vehicles and wild boars are not uncommon, especially at night when visibility is low. These accidents often result in costly damages and, in some cases, serious injuries. Beyond traffic issues, wild boars also threaten Australia's biodiversity. They feed on insects, bird eggs, and even small reptiles, which endangers many rare and vulnerable species. This predatory behavior makes it difficult for native wildlife to maintain stable populations. To address these challenges, modern technology is increasingly being used in wild boar control. Drones, thermal imaging cameras, and GPS tracking systems help authorities locate and monitor large groups of boars. These tools make it easier to manage populations in a humane and efficient way. At the same time, the commercial value of wild boar meat raises new opportunities and challenges. While farming and harvesting wild boars can generate profit, maintaining strict food safety standards ensuring proper veterinary checks and meeting international export requirements remain major obstacles. Finally, wild boars also play a role in cuisine and culture. In Australia, wild boar meat is used in gourmet dishes, served in barbecue gatherings, and even featured in fine dining restaurants as a premium product. This cultural aspect shows that, despite the difficulties they bring, wild boars have also found a unique place in the country's culinary traditions.